Greetings folks, Chris here, and welcome to yet another on Twin Proper's Citizen Carry channel. And folks, the handgun that we're bringing you today is the handgun of quality. It is magnificent, ladies and gentlemen, the Heckler & Koch P30 SK. So folks, here it is. This is the H&K P30 SK. This is the subcompact. That's what the SK is for. The German spelled compact with a K. Subcompact. And this is a 10 round 9mm concealed carry handgun that feels and handles like a full-size gun. That's why I got this. Well, I got this for a lot of reasons. One of them is the aesthetics of the whole thing. But the other was because of the ergonomics. I got the opportunity to handle one at the gun store, and after I handled it, I was like, oh my sweet Jesus, this is beautiful, and I wanted one. So the first one I got was the H&K P30 SK V3 with the double action, single action trigger, right? But as you know, I ended up trading away for that one and getting this one because the double action, single action on the V3 trigger was quite a bit wonky. It was that the take up and the reset were weirdly long. And it was just a weird kind of a timing thing with me that I was going to have a hard time getting used to that double action, single action trigger. It just didn't feel right to me. Now other people are having a good time with theirs, and that is awesome. But as for myself, not so much. But I did not want to not have the P30 SK, so I got the LEM trigger because of how many people were singing its praises, and now I know why. But this is it. This is a subcompact, and I would say in size, this is more comparable to a Glock 26 in size. It's also a 10 round magazine, just like a Glock 26. It has this pinky extender here, which we're going to get into the magazine and how much I like these in a little bit, but this is about the same size as a Glock 26. And if we can compare it in size to a pistol that I had recently got, this is the Smith & Wesson M&P with the 3.6 inch barrel, 9mm. You can see that it is slightly longer than the H&K P30 SK. It holds 15 rounds. And with the pinky extension, it is about as tall as the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 with the 3.6 inch barrel. But without it, and if you use the flush fit magazine, you will find that it is considerably shorter. So, and of course, it's 10 rounds versus 15. But in being subcompact, this handgun is 6.42 inches long. That's not too very long. And it's 4.57 inches high, which is quite manageable when you're concealed carrying. That's the most important dynamic right there. Is 4.57 inches high. It's 1.37 inches wide. And again, let's compare the width with another sort of slim 15 round 9mm handgun. And it's not that big a difference. It's a 3.27 inch barrel in this handgun, and this weighs 24 ounces. So it doesn't feel very heavy, and it's quite carryable, especially for me. Now that I have the Nate Squared Tacticals Professional Series holster for this thing, it is my favorite holster, and it is quite a comfortable holster. Make sure you catch that video on Too Improper channel, or the Citizen Carry channel. So that's the specs. And again, the reason I got this was the trigger, which brings me to this. Trigger warning. If you're the type of person that gets night sweats when you see someone put their finger on the trigger of an unloaded handgun, or it gives you the urge to spontaneously bust into virtue signaling your safety knowledge, you may want to turn your head during this part. Now the trigger is outstanding, but let me just call attention first to the slide action, right? Wow, this is a very nice smooth slide, and you can see that there is no wobble in here. The tolerances are very good. What a nice slide. This is an LEM trigger. It's sort of pre-cocked so that when you pull the trigger, you can see this is taking no weight whatsoever. This is probably a pound. Let's do this way. It's probably about a pound, right? Not a lot of weight. And then you hit a wall. And then after that wall or anywhere beyond that wall, it's a nice clean snap. And the reset's out there a little bit, but it's nowhere near as wonky as the V3 trigger. Let's do that a little bit and we'll look at the hammer at the same time. But right here, right there, and then the hammer does not have as much travel. There's the wall. And again, it's hard to describe that trigger and how nice it feels, but take my word for it. It makes follow-up shots and double taps much easier. But part of what makes this a good shooter is the ergos, okay? The ergos are outstanding. Let me call your attention to this, by the way. The ergos are so outstanding that not only does this handgun have replaceable back straps, small, medium, and large, it also has replaceable side straps, small, medium, and large. But you could do any combination of those. So when you have 3 sets of side straps where you could do one size side strap here and another size side strap here, for example, if your palm is bigger or if your fingers are longer or if your hand is bigger, you've got a lot of different combinations. So this is the very essence of customizable. And that's also why I love this gun so much. Making it even nicer is the magazine, because the magazines have this sort of rubber lip on it. You can see that I'm bending it. Well, that helps dramatically. Your pinky goes in that area, and if you've got a wider pinky, well, it's just going to push this down a little bit. And what it does, at least for my purposes, is it holds the gun really firmly in my grip and very comfortably. So it's not like you've got this hard pinky extension right here. It's a little bit movable and a lot more comfortable. So that is something that I advise you getting if your P30 SK did not come with any of the extended pinky mags. Go ahead and get one. You'll be glad you did, especially for range use. Now, if you're concealed carrying, the flush fit mag makes this a smaller package this way, which again is the most important dynamic, but this never really bothered me. This is an additional inch, but nah, it never really sticks out. Nobody can tell if I've got this tucked in by looking at my shirt or anything on the side unless they're peering very intently at that area. Other than that, it's a great concealer. And shooting. Now, if you look at the footage here, folks, you could tell by the footage that the recoil is not really bad for this. And yes, I bring up recoil all the time because there's a lot of people that are concerned about recoil. And you should be, because you have to be able to handle the firearm that you're using and to be able to do effectively your double taps and your follow-up shots. So yes, recoil is important. If while watching footage you can tell by the hammer back here and how the hammer moves, you can see how that light take-up kind of takes you to that wall before the snap. It is a very beautiful feeling when you're shooting this gun. Cat got a chance to shoot this. He really liked it, and he was tempted to take this thing home, if I remember correctly. But everything about this gun is really smooth and nice. Again, like I said, you know, with the slide movement and everything, it's like taking a bath in chocolate. Very smooth and mellow feeling handgun, if you can say mellow handgun. So stand by for the end of this video when I do more shooting footage. And let's get a good close-up look at this, right? There it is, the P30 SK subcompact with a K, the back end. And part of the ergos, I consider the sights part of the ergos because ergonomically easy for the person shooting. And these sights are sort of your glow-in-the-dark paint. I'm not sure what exactly it's called, but you can see that they glow in the dark, and they glow in the dark very well for about a half an hour. That is also available on the VP series pistols. Now, takedown of this handgun's easy. You eject your magazine, which you've been able to ascertain that it has been empty. You can see that the firearm is empty, and you can see that there is a button right here. And what you want to do is you want to bring this back, and you want to slide this cutout right here back to this part of the pin, and then you want to push this button on this side, and this will pop out. So let's do it. I'm going to slide it back to there. I'm going to push it. You can see it raises up a little bit. I'm not sure if you saw that. And then hold your slide into place. Pull this up. You can see that red showing, which indicates that your takedown pin is definitely pulled out. and you can pull it out just like that. And the internals, very nice internals. Of course, you would expect that of H&K pistols. Here's your spring and guide rod. It is a double captive spring and guide rod. Of course, this part faces down for the lockup. And the barrel comes out just like so. Again, this is a 3.27-inch barrel. And your slide, here is the inside of your slide. Very clean, very free of sloppy machining marks and excessive tooling marks. It is a very nicely made handgun. And it goes back together in the reverse order. Put your barrel in, put your spring and guide rod in. You can see that the lockup hook is on the bottom there. Push just a little bit and it'll catch right here. Make sure it's in the middle. Line your slide up with your frame just like this. All right. And then bring that cutout back to that pin again. I'm not sure if you're going to see it. And then push it in. Push that pin in right there. Just did it. Release it. Shaving a haircut. 2 bits. So this is the H&K P30 SK or subcompact. 10 rounds of 9mm. And this is the one that I primarily carry. If not, I'm carrying my Ruger LC9. I carry other handguns too, but this is pretty much the one that I carry for the most part. If you're thinking about getting the H&K P30 SK, it may cost a little bit more than some of your other guns, like your Rugers and stuff like that. But it's not that bad. It's not like you're spending $800, $700, $800 on it. It should be only about $500 or so. It's more, again, than your Rugers and some of your other handguns, but you definitely know where your money went. And again, when you pick up your P30 SK, you are instantly greeted with the feeling of quality. There is no doubt about it. You can see the Deutschland markings and all their proof marks right there. Typical of your German pistols. This is a completely ambidextrous pistol, by the way, because the mag release is right here. It's one of those paddle type mag releases. You can see that it moves with your forefinger or it can move with your thumb. So you can do it either way. And ejection is really cleanly done, as you can see. So to get a close-up look at those mag paddles, here we go. See it moving? Kind of throws that magazine out. So it's an easy handgun to use. It's a little bit of a learning curve if you're used to the American style mag releases, which are usually stationed right here. But other than that, it's not that far away. It's right here. So the texturing on the grip, it's very functional. I don't have a need to go and get Talon grips for this because this feels great. It's not ultra aggressive. It doesn't hurt, but it does indeed hold the handgun within your grasp. So in closing, would I recommend getting the H&K P30 SK for concealed carry or home protection? Well, you bet I would. And when you consider the fact that you can get these for right about $500, $525, $530, oh, you bet it's a good value. Now just keep in mind that if you get night sights, it's going to cost a little bit more. So the H&K P30 SK with the LEM trigger. And folks, while we're out about all this, don't forget to check out Two and Proper Citizen Carry channel on Patreon. That's 2I on Patreon. And that is a good way to donate to us, to help us out so that we can actually do things and to be able to bring you content. I'm actually having to change the way I'm going to be doing my Patreon, as a matter of fact, based on the very low number of patrons that I've got. And I don't mind saying right now, I only have 2 patrons, and I'm not able to do the things that I projected I would be able to do because I had 5,500 subscribers and only 2 people joined. So that dramatically changed things in the way I can do things. But the more people that are willing to donate on Patreon opens up the possibilities for us little guys on the Two and Proper network to be able to bring you more content and better content. But folks, don't forget, that's 2I on Patreon, and that's also Two and Proper on WordPress. The links will be in the description below. But folks, that's it. I'm Chris, or Two and Proper. My email address is scrolling across the bottom of the screen as we're speaking right now. That's twoimproper@gmail.com. Right, and I will be able to answer you, provided you're going to be polite about whatever it is you have to say, and if I have the time. Thanks for watching, folks. God bless America, and keep on protecting your families, yourselves, your country, its flag, and its honor. More and more these days, we need to protect our country's flag and its honor against these attacks against patriotism. We need more patriots like yourselves to follow up and help us win that fight. And we do fight for our flag and our country's honor because it's the right thing to do. It's my number one carry.
Very smooth. Very smooth.
And what do you think of the grips? Doesn't that
Feels good.
yeah.
Nice, real nice.